Superfast broadband is coming to rural Nottinghamshire, and during this interview we will meet a local award-winning firm who are participating in the internet revolution. Interviewed at their new state-of-the-art £5 million data centre in Newark, Trevor Davies and Neil Armstrong from independent internet and managed service provider Tamico will explain their dependence on a robust digital infrastructure. We begin with an interview with local councillor and business engagement champion Keith Girling, who will discuss the Nottinghamshire Local Broadband Plan, which will see the deployment of superfast broadband to rural and isolated parts of Nottinghamshire. Councillor Girling, so superfast broadband is coming to rural Nottinghamshire.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. It's a once-in-a-generation opportunity to give people the opportunity to increase on business, also education for the young people and everything like that, and it's an absolutely amazing thing.
So what's the problem with broadband in Nottinghamshire?
Well, we've got a lot of rural properties that have got what's called classed as white buildings, if you like, that have got either lower than 2 meg broadband download speed or none at all. And what's that stopping is business growth in those areas, in the rural areas particularly, and also people that live in those areas. It's stopping them accessing the internet, and we all know what sort of valuable asset that is these days.
What do we mean by superfast broadband?
Well, superfast broadband is 24 meg download speed, which is absolutely incredible. We've got some properties that's considered it's okay with 1 meg. I mean, you can practically send a letter quicker than you can send an email.
But why does speed matter?
Well, if you're sending a big document as a business to somewhere around the world, or downloading something for, say, for information, you don't want to be waiting ages for that to happen. You want the information instantly so you can get on and do what you're supposed to be doing.
Surely everyone in Nottinghamshire now has access to broadband?
No, not at all. There's lots of areas in Nottinghamshire. We've been assessed, it was independently assessed, and in fact that's how they worked out how much money we got from the government in the first place so that we could improve those areas.
So why is the County Council now getting involved?
Well, I think commercially it's not viable for the big providers to go into the rural areas. So we can either sit back and wait for them to eventually get there, or we can take the initiative and get that broadband in those areas so people can run their businesses and run their lives. There's a plan being put forward at the moment to look at how we're going to deliver this broadband throughout Nottinghamshire, looking at the areas where we can first get in and get some quick wins, basically. So some of the rural areas where it's easier to put in, and then obviously there's going to be some areas where it might not be put in by data cabling, it might be put in by wireless or even satellite. So it's about making it so it works wherever it is in Nottinghamshire.
Are you going to tell me which areas the Nottinghamshire Local Broadband Plan will cover? Well,
we can't really be specific at this moment in time because we need to look at the layout and how things are going to work effectively. We're also looking for funding from other agencies, so for example the districts and boroughs are being asked to contribute towards it.
During this interview we shall give you an insight into how local businesses benefit from superfast broadband. Tamico has been consistently named as one of the fastest growing privately owned companies in the UK, and I'm pleased to introduce Tamico's Chief Technology Officer, Trevor Davies. Trevor, can we begin by you giving a potted history of Tamico?
Tamico is what's called an internet service provider. We provide internet services and communication services like phone lines and mobiles to businesses. We started in 2004 and we've grown hugely since then. We have grown from 4 people to around about 200 people in that time. And we've expanded from our original site at Langford Hall in Newark to initially a first purpose-built building in Newark, and now a second building that we've just moved into.
So perhaps you could tell me about the future plans for Tamico.
Well, we have really exciting future plans for Tamico. You can see here we are in a lovely new network operations centre with a heavy amount of investment. We're spending a lot of money here. Last year we turned over somewhere between 30 and 35 million pounds, and we have ambitions to be at 100 million pounds by 2015, and we know that we will get there. We've got a fantastic management team, and it's going to be an exciting and great place to be around.
Thank you, Trevor, and now to Tamico's Marketing Director, Neil Armstrong. Neil, why is broadband so important to Tamico?
Well, broadband and internet connectivity is central to our business as a communication service provider. But I think for any business now, whether every business in the country uses email, everybody has to do their VAT return online these days. The flexibility and the demand for working from home, being able to work on the move, fast access to the internet, be it for your files, your systems, your telephony, keeping in touch with people, it's absolutely the centre of every business these days.
Given some of your 200 staff live in rural and isolated parts of Nottinghamshire, what benefits do you see having access to superfast broadband will be to them and your business?
I think universal access to superfast broadband is really important. We have a lot of our staff, be it technical staff, customer service staff or operations staff, sales guys, out on the road, and those people who can work from home, the speed of broadband makes a massive difference to their ability to do their job, and fast broadband access for all will make a massive difference, I think, to the productivity of the UK and certainly Nottinghamshire.
The Nottinghamshire Local Broadband Plan will see 90% of all Nottinghamshire premises having access to superfast broadband. This vital investment is critical to Nottinghamshire's economic recovery, growth and competitive standing. Superfast broadband will enable access to a plethora of services, the ability to run a business outside the urban conurbations, access to telemedicine and online learning, new relationships with local and national government, involvement with peer-to-peer services that need high upstream speeds, and access to services which we cannot envisage now because there is simply not the infrastructure to make their development commercially viable. For updates on the progress of the Nottinghamshire Local Broadband Plan, visit www.nottinghamshire.gov.uk/broadband. Superfast broadband, changing the way Nottinghamshire lives, works, plays and learns.